As you probably saw in the my channel opening video, while I was that nervous about talking to the camera, I held a cup of tea for the whole time and didn't even take a sip. So for the second video, I'm just going to drink it. So like I said in the first video, we're going to start stripping the engine, like take the coil packs off, water pump, like AC, I believe it's the AC mount, a few other bits and bobs, and start cracking on and getting into the engine. I usually put everything in Ziploc bags when I start stripping an engine and mark it up with a Sharpie, but I've forgotten to get some, so that'll be tomorrow's job. So I want to try and organise it as best I can without Ziploc bags, and then when I come do some more work on it another day, that'll be my first job, to bag them up and mark them up, because it's a really good way of sort of just having a bag of bolts and like loads of scattered bolts everywhere and not knowing where they all go. And there's a good chance this won't start getting put back together until way into the new year. So, and my memory's terrible, so I'll definitely forget. So that's a bit of a top tip. If you're ever rebuilding anything, it goes for anything on a car really, is especially if it's going to be apart for a while. It's those Ziploc bags and a Sharpie pen can come in really handy. One thing that surprised me with this engine is everything's metric on it. Well, a lot of it's metric. I was expecting for an American engine that's sort of 20-30 years old that it'd all be imperial. So when me and my friend went to pull it out of the car in America, I just went to Harbour Freight, bought a load of imperial tools. Probably should have done a bit of research, but I didn't. So got a load of imperial tools, spanners, sockets and all that sort of stuff, just to find out that it's all imperial, which, yeah, luckily my mate brought a selection of tools, so we had enough to get it out, which is quite handy. One thing I didn't say in the first video is that this is a 5.3, I believe. I was aiming to get a 5.7 or 5.7 or bigger, and when me and my mate were pulling it out, I was convinced it was a 5.7 because I'd looked it up on the VIN. Turns out I'd looked it up on the wrong car, so I only realised it was a 5.3 when someone came up to me and said, "Oh, nice motor, 5.3." I was like, "No, 5.7." And they're like, "No, that's 5.3." I was like, oh. But still make plenty of power, and if you watch my first video you'll know it's going into a E30, so 300 horsepower will be more than enough in an old E30. If I want more, I can always take it out and build it a bit more or whatever. We'll sort of cross that bridge when it comes to it. First thing is getting it rebuilt in a nice runnable order with a few spicy mods on it, and then yeah, go from there really. Like I say, I'm probably going to go electric water pump. I'd like to do it, just tidies the front up of these engines in my opinion. I'm looking at the BTR stage 4 cam because that sounds like it's got a really nice chop to it. Obviously it's something that I've got to be looking at, which is a few options. I'm sort of debating which one to go for. It's either the CX Racing, the Sicky sump, and then I think there's another, but I've forgotten the name of it. The CX Racing is about $500 roughly. I think that comes with a new dipstick and a few bits and bobs. The Sicky one is about $1,000, and I'm toing and froing on whether it's worth it. It looks like a lovely sump as far as engine sumps go, but is it worth $1,000 when I can get something that's half the price? It'll pretty much do the same job, but we'll see. I've not ordered any bits for it yet. As part of the strip down, I'm going to make a little list of bits I need to buy, like gaskets. I'll get a full gasket set for it anyway, but yeah, any other miscellaneous bits. We'll go from there really. So yeah, let's get started really. So I think the water pump bolts are 10 mils. I'm hoping I can remove it with a tensioner because it looks like it's separate. So yeah, we'll go from there. Try not to put my back to too much, but my tools are over here, so I'll do my best. I'm also going to try and take it all off without taking the fan off, because like I say, if I'm going electric water pump, it's well, I don't need any of this anyway. I'll keep it to one side and safe, but yeah. You're probably asking, why do you want to go electric water pump? And one of the main reasons is tidies the engine bay up a little bit, in my opinion. Or tidies the engine up, maybe not the engine bay. The other thing is, I'm potentially going to put a power management unit in it as well, and it would probably be an ECU Masters one, just so it links up nicely. Like, I think you could use whatever power management with that engine management, but why not keep it the same brand? Makes it easy to problem solve and stuff like that. But power management, I can PWM the water pump, meaning that I technically wouldn't need to run a thermostat, which, because what you do is run the pump unbelievably slowly to start with, just so it's slowly trickling it round. So it'd make it so the coolant in the engine warms up relatively quick, because there's not much flow to it. And once you're under load or you need a bit more, you just run the pump a bit faster and you can like fluctuate the speed at which it pumps the fluid round, like relatively to your engine coolant temp. So I'm hoping to do that. It's just whether I do end up running a power management unit on this car as well. I want to, but I can see the budget for this like build, if you like, going out the window. I don't want it to, I want it to do the right job, but I don't want it to be stupid expensive. It's very easy for, especially with me, for things to get a bit out of hand and you end up spending loads on all sorts of random bits, and suddenly you realise that you can't finish the project because you've not got enough money left. So I'm hoping that I can budget a bit better, and yeah, we'll get this in with all the bits I need. And something like a electric water pump is, and a power management unit is relatively low in the priority list, if you know what I mean. And the good thing with like your water pumps and stuff like that, it's something that can like, it's one of the last things to go on, so you can sort of make that decision near the end of your build, which is pretty good really. So yeah, I mean, one thing I want to make sure, even if I put a electric water pump on it, is that I'll still be able to get coolant to the heater matrix in the car, because it gets cold in the UK. So I want to make sure I've still got heating. I won't be running aircon. My car doesn't have aircon as it is, and I don't plan on retrofitting it in any way. Maybe, but I don't. I've driven it in the summer in the UK, and the summer in the UK it's not stupidly hot, so probably is stupidly hot for about 3 days of the year, and I think I can manage for them 3 days. So yeah, I won't be fitting aircon. Not sure what I'm doing about power steering yet, as in whether I'm going to run a remote power steering pump. Again, if I do that, that'll be because I'm running a power management unit as well. Obviously I will have to run an alternator somewhere, so I need to have a look at what options are available for sort of bolting an alternator to the side, or maybe I might have to look at making something myself, like a but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's pretty far along the way, I think. I'll input a few pictures of my E30 somewhere in the video, just so you can see what car it is. That's why I'm putting it in. And you might be thinking, oh, you're probably thinking, not another E30 or not another LS swap, but it's not very common in the UK. And if you're not noticed, I'm from the UK, from the north of the UK, from Yorkshire, and it's not very common to have LS engines in general and LS swaps. There wasn't many cars that came to the UK with LS engine fitted. I think we had the Vauxhall Monaro and can't really think of any others. But yeah, so it's not as common a swap as it is in the US. But I'm hoping I can bring something a little bit different to the LS swap sort of videos, or the LS swaps in general. Like I say, I'm not going for stupidly high horsepower, but it'll be enough for an old E30 with, at the minute, not very good brakes. Well, that's just because E30 brakes aren't the best. But yeah, we'll get there. Well, there's wheeze everywhere. But you can see how big the water pump is, and it's not the nicest looking thing in my opinion. But let's put that car out for a little bit. So you can see here, let's see if I can show you. So you can see sort of that's how crusty it was before. And I think the Tahoe or Suburban that I got the engine out of, it was pretty filthy, to be fair. Done 130,000 miles, so not many. And it was much cheaper than trying to get an engine in the UK. An LS in the UK is probably 2.5 grand, 3 grand, something like that. And I'd probably still want to do the same thing I'm doing with this now, as in stripping it and having a good look. Because I'd hate to get to the point where I'm got the engine in and wired up and everything like that, and then suddenly it's not running because of bad compression, or I don't know. And if it, you know, it's like getting a second-hand engine motor. I'm still sort of doing an errand on how I'm going to run things, as in these coil packs. I don't know how to mount them to the firewall somewhere, or the strut towers on the side, just so you can see the rocker covers, because it's a nice looking engine. It'd be a shame to leave these on top of the rocker covers, but we'll see. They might end up going back on. There's a high probability they're going to go back on some of the rockers. But yeah, we'll work it out as we go along. At the minute, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these coils, as in whether I'm going to use them again or not. In fact, I'm definitely not, because I've just noticed this, and I think it's from maybe shipping. You can see on that coil pack. I don't know if you can see that, it's all cracked, and I think there's a little bit of damage on this one. So yeah, those coil packs are going in the bin. In the bin. So yeah, that's the end of that conversation then. Tell you what I'll do, I'll stop this now and I'll do a bit of a time lapse of me stripping the rocker covers off and a few bits and bobs off, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, it looks like probably had an oil leak of some sort on here, because someone's siliconed it up. So I would assume it's maybe had an oil leak. These knock sensors don't look the best. I don't know if I've just actually broken that, getting the plugs off. This one just pulled off the rear one, but it doesn't matter too much because I'm not running these sensors anyway. I'm probably gonna run some other style of knock sensors, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you that quickly. It would probably have an oil leak. I could probably pick it off, but it's probably more hard work than it's worth. With all the oil that was up here, before all the oil and dirt, it was as bad as that, but sort of up on this valley plate. So I've made a little area. I didn't bring a socket big enough to wind these sensors out. I forgot that you'd have to remove them to be able to get this valley plate off. So that'll have to stay on till another day. I'll move that another day. So I'll probably take this aircon bracket off and maybe take the rocker covers off, because I'm quite keen to see the condition of the sort of inside of the engine, really, see if it's had many oil changes or not, or whether it's been used and abused. So I've just undone all the bolts, I believe, for the both rocker calipers. They're still in there, but they're loose. I thought, why not bring you in? I've not taken these off yet, so I don't know what they look like inside. I'm hoping. Ew, it's very dirty. Not nice. It's not had many. Not been doing the regular oil changes by the looks of it, so that definitely needs a good clean before it all goes back together. Sort of the kit that I'm wanting to buy for the camshaft and stuff does come with new valve springs and seats and stuff, but I still want to clean these up just in case I do end up using these. Like I said earlier in the video, I don't know if budget will allow me to get everything I want, but we'll see how we get on. Yeah, this is pretty manky, so got nothing a bit of cleaning won't fix. So a couple of things that's not filled me with much confidence as well. When I've flipped the engine over to start taking the sump off, it looks a bit creamy, what's just poured out of the dipstick hole. And then when I took the long bolts out of the sump. Don't know if you can see that, if it focuses. Also very milky, which is not ideal. Hopefully it's just because it's sat and maybe got a bit of rainwater in it, or even where I might have sprayed it down when I've been cleaning it. But I mean, even if it is head gasket, it's getting new head gaskets anyway. Just hope it's not damaged anything like warped the heads or anything like that, which I don't know if these suffer with it when the head gasket goes, but I would assume so, because I think most engines do. But yeah, just about to take the sump off. In fact, all the bolts are out. I think I'll do it now. Definitely looks like it's not had many oil changes, or certainly not enough, because it's absolutely filthy in there. I don't know look how thick that is. That's disgusting. We're not using this sump anyway, so I'm not going to bother cleaning it. It'll just end up going in the bin somewhere. So now I want to take, well, you can see on the engine now, definitely not had many oil changes. Do your oil changes, people. But anyway, I want to take the baffling off, or the windage tray or whatever it's called, and have a look at the bottom of the engine. Hopefully it's a little bit better, but it's probably just going to be more of the same, to be honest. Well, that's the windage tray off, and as you can see, and you probably saw in the time lapse, I was spinning it over. It spins over quite nice. There's a little bit of like marking on the cam lobes, but not bad marking. You can just see where it's been running on them. There's this weird marking. It looks like, almost looks like copper grease where it's been spinning round. I don't know if you can see. Not really seen it before. It just looks a bit like copper grease is in there. It definitely makes me want to completely strip the engine and have a good look. Like you saw, I did spin it round and it spins nicely, but still pretty keen on having a look at these bores. So I probably will take the heads off today. Hopefully we've got a good engine on our hands, even if it is a bit dirty. everyone probably already knows because there's loads of LS videos, but this is the front of the engine, and then cylinder 1 is always on the left side, which is here. And yeah, cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm going to do is just punch some holes in this box, mark them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all the push rods can go in there, like the buckets. Try and keep it all a bit organised for later. But yeah, again, I'll time lapse that. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Yeah, let's give it a go, and I'll get back to you in a bit. I've just noticed all the exhaust studs are snapped, or bolts. That's just made me really sad. Yeah, very sad actually. This side, I'm pretty sure they all came out. I must admit, when we took the engine out, that manifold, the left side manifold, was already removed. And I didn't really pay much attention when we took it out, but yeah, all broken. And you'll see a lot of the electrical connections have just been snipped because I'm not going to be using any of the sensors that are on the engine. I'll be replacing for different higher quality ones. That is why you'll see a lot of the sensors when we were just removing the wiring harness and stuff. I just snipped a lot of them because I wasn't that interested. Some of the ones that I'm not going to replace, or will replace, like OEM, like the cam angle sensor and crank. So I don't know if you could see from the faces that I was pulling when I was trying to undo these head bolts, but they're pretty tight. And my 3/8 ratchet, I'm scared I'm going to snap all the teeth on it. So I'm going to pop home and get myself my 1/2 inch ratchet so I can get them out without breaking my nice 3/8 ones. You might have been able to hear on the time lapse, so like tinging over the teeth, so definitely don't want to break them. 1/2 inch ratchet. I might see if I can find a socket to get the knock sensors out. Right, so I think I've got the tools I need now. So hopefully we'll have these heads off in 10-15 minutes. Yeah, well, be a couple of seconds for you on the time lapse, but yeah, see how we get on. So I've just taken the heads off, and as you can see, they're absolutely, top of the pistons are absolutely filthy. And that's both banks. Some are full of water, but I'm pretty sure that's from where like it's just rained in on it, and where I've washed it maybe with a bit of, so I think I had the plugs out. I can't remember. No, I don't think I did, but inlet manifold was off, so but the bores look pretty good. I'm going to give them all clean and have a better inspection, but I think we're going to be alright. I think it's going to be a good, pretty good base engine. Yeah, yeah, we'll go from there. I'll give them a clean up and I'll come back to you. So as you can see, I've had a bit of a clean up of the pistons and just wiped around the bars. You can see there is some marking on the bars, but no bar score. It's more just a bit of staining from any water or something like that. And those bits you can just see there are just still little bits of dirt. And I think the more I've looked, the more I think the water that's made it a bit creamy, it's probably come from where I washed the, gave the engine a blast off. And the bit of stain, I'm not worrying about that bit of stain. I think it'll probably come out with a quick hone. Don't want to go mad, just a little tidy up. I don't know if you can see, I can't remember which cylinder it was, but you can actually still see the hatchings from the factory hone. But yeah, the more I look at it, the more I think it's a pretty good base engine. Just needs a real good clean. I think I'll be taking I will be taking all the pistons and crank out and all that sort of stuff. Not today, but in another video. I think I'll do a little bit of cleaning now, get some of the bulk off, and maybe look at doing that another day. As you can see, I did get the knock sensors out. Yeah, so sort of go from there really. Yeah, getting a bit excited. And these are the heads as well. This is the left bank head, the right bank head, and they're pretty minging as well. Same as how the same as how the cylinders were really, but they look alright condition wise. Just want a good clean again, and I think it'll pretty much be good to go, but it just wants a real good clean.